these are the tools that I'm going to use to put together this grill. I have this is not really necessary, but you know, I just have it out. But you have this long one, would be helpful. You have this, comes with it. And then this to cut open a box. And then you have these I use for the wheels. Nothing else really. Everything with a nut, a little nut like that. It has threads on it. So when you make it tight, it grabs the metal, and you don't really need these, but only for the big tires. And that's it. It's pretty simple. I put mine together already. So that's how it's supposed to look when all said and done. And just look at the directions as well, if you can't understand, but the directions were pretty easy as well. But I explained mostly everything in this video. Alright, so I got a grill here that I'm putting together. It's a grill slash smoker. Right here by Masterbuilt. I have the directions here. Masterbuilt. And I'll be putting it together. I got started. Here's the first directions. This piece right here is already in. You just gotta pull it out. It's already in there from the factory. And then you got this piece right here. And then you got this piece right here. This is the only piece these two come together. But this is by itself. And they get B screws. And this takes the washer and the handle that's in the same bag as this one. So don't get confused. Alright, so the next steps, I want to take this out because I have to lay it on its back. And I think the lip of this is gonna bend. So let me take that out. And I have to lay the whole thing on its back. As you can see right here, on its back. And I need the washer for this. So that's gonna go on. And see, laying everything out is easy. And then I need this big boy with the smokestack on it. So, and I believe this is gonna get A's. So, I'll put this everything right here. And then what I wanna do is, while it's on its back, and I wanna put this on, line up the hose, and then I'm gonna put this on, but I'm gonna have that smokestack part out this way. Let me get the screws. I think they're A's. So it wants to be like this. You'll know because the screw holes are right there. But what I did was put that in. See the screw popping out right there? I put the washer on the screw, and then I'm gonna kind of lift it up on this screw hole. So this is how it wants to look. Now on here it says 5 screws. So right here is 2, and then 1, 2, 3. So that's 5. So I think this one right there. There's one, if you can see it. And I have to keep that open, I guess for something else later. So I'm gonna put it in there. And then I'll continue to the feet. this step. So here I move that screw right there. And it would be nice to have a long screwdriver so you can reach under. But now what I need is the legs. So I'm gonna put them on. Okay, so I'll put them on. And these are the screws. The front looks like that, but the backs have the letters on them. You can see what letters which. And the feet are pretty easy because the other side gets the one with the hook. I guess that's where the wheels go. And this side gets the one that's flat. So on this side next to the big smoker thing. And you can't get them mixed up because, see, that's for this. You can see that, and then the top one is shaped different. So actually I was wrong. I think this gets the big wheels, because see the hole, and then this gets the little wheels. I guess you can lock them so it doesn't roll away. But as you can see, that was square. This is the same shape as the grill. So it's hard to get this mixed up because this end gets the flat like that, and then that end gets this part. It's not flat, and you can't mess it up because it's basically just putting the shapes together. But now they want this to look like that. To go like that. Well, I think I have it upside down, but it's like this. They want that, and then you just pick it up and put it right on here like this, and you screw it in. And this side gets a screw and a bolt, and this side just gets screws. I think bolts as well. So they are right here. It's A and D. So D and A, either one. So you take two. And I don't really think that you need anything for this bolt because when you tighten it up, it has threads. So it might just grab itself and you can just tighten it up with the screwdriver. So that's how it's supposed to be. The top is the front and the back is the bottom. And this is how it's supposed to be. These big holes are supposed to, because you're supposed to thread something through and have big tires. And then the little wheels. And when you're doing these, hold this until you thread it all the way through. And it's contact. And then tighten it. And it tightens by itself. So now, for the next step, is put the wheels on, which is this, and that has a washer pretty much, and this right here, the washer stays on this side. Now unscrew that, put it through here with a wheel on both sides. So I'm gonna put the wheel on there first, like this, and then put it through. And the screw that off first, and then put it through. So I'm gonna finish this. Here's the washer, that's the nut. And I threaded it through like that. And then I want to put this side on like this. And then after that, put this on and then tighten it up. And then I want to thread these two wheels on this side. Just thread it in. And the wrench that was provided goes on here to make it tight. And that's this one right here. And I'll show you the after. All right, so after done, I use that wrench. So now, I'm gonna try to tighten this up. I might have to grip this with some pliers. Oh yeah, there's a little thing right here. Just so you can do it with pliers. And then you're gonna wanna tighten it up. But I'm gonna put it up like this, put it through, and then use the bolt and washer for the other side. So to tighten it up, I'm gonna grab this with this right here. And then I have another set that I'm gonna grab the bottom and tighten this up. Just so it's tight. All right, so this doesn't have to be that tight, just to come through that much, because it catches on the washer and it won't come off. Okay, so I got some help lifting it off of the table. So that's how it looks after all said and done. Now, I need this piece wants to go. Right here is the front, this is the back. And this piece wants to go like that, with the square to the front. And it fits in perfectly. And you're gonna use 1, 2, 3, and 4 holes to put A's and D's. So the D's are gonna be on this side and the A's are gonna be on this side. And I'll show you after I'm done. This is the front. Okay, so after this is on, you're gonna go on this side and put all the A's go on this side and B's go on the back side. See, I held it until it threaded in. And once it threaded in, the teeth kind of bit the back of it, and you can just screw it right on. You don't need a wrench. So for the next one is to thread everything through that hole. So I'm gonna do that now. See this right here? It's telling me thread it through the hole, the wire. So I'm gonna thread it through that hole right there, and right here, like that. Same thing with this, untangle this, and take it out the back, and just thread it through that hole. So the bolt through the hole like that. And then plug everything up the way that it goes. I guess right here is the main. That's the main one. Right there is the main, so it's 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna try to figure out which goes in which. It should be, see this is like a female, and this only has one male fitting, so I guess the other two go in here. So if you look, the way I did it was the button wire, which is right here. I hooked it on both together, I guess, because when you push the button, it sends a signal, I guess. And then this wire is this right here. And then you can't get this wrong. That's the fan. So I figured maybe the button goes here, because these two are the same. So I would just take one of the twist ties and put them all together like so, so it's not hanging everywhere. Like that, make it look pretty. So now they want me to put this on this side. And you can see, you can't get it mixed up because there's two of them, one on this side and there's one on this side. And the other one's right here, you know, because you have the cutout. And then it shows you, and then you have the two screw holes on here. And this is supposed to go on the other side, like that on the front. So these, I think these are right at the top of the box. So as you're putting this on, you see right here on the top it says it slides in. So you want to slide this in there, and then this tab is going to go underneath that corner. And these screw holes are going to show. So as you can see right here, I'll tuck this under, and that's what holds the top. And then you screw this two B's. Those are these small ones, and the other one doesn't go on this side. It actually goes on the back side. Right there. And this just sits there. And then one B goes right here, and another B goes right here, the back. So there you go for that. And just make sure this lip tucks in here, tucks in the back of this, just so you can screw the screw into the frame, into the cap that I just put on. And that lines up. And before you tighten all the screws down for every individual piece, just make sure they all the screws thread in first, just so you don't have a problem later that it tightens up off line and you have to really fight to get the screw in or untighten it later, and which will waste time. So yeah, almost done. Everything's pretty much where you need it to be. Everything's on top. Everything's in order. So I need that, and those two are together, and that's the door. So I'm gonna put that together, and then I'm gonna slide them in. I already put this together when I put the hinge on. I just put it on, so that's already done. 21. So let me get started with this. I need to open this up. You'll see it's just like squiggly like that. So, okay, so this is that right there. So this, and it was together with this thing. So that's on the side. So, where do I put it in at? That I'll just slide it in just like that. Okay, if you can see, this is where drawer slides. You can see them. My camera broke on me, so you can't see it that much. But if you look in here with your eyes, you can see it slightly. And it's the same on the other side. Just make sure it slides above that so it's not falling. Then take this like this, and you want the curved edge in the back. Like that, just sits there. And then I'm gonna put the door on. And door just goes on like that. So the door just slides on right in there. Just make sure it's down to the part where everything will be sealed off. So I guess the smoke doesn't come out. And this latches, you'll see it. So now you need these two little pieces. The smaller one goes on the bottom, and then the bigger one goes on the top. But that's the front. I'll go to the front and do that. Right here, the front. As you can see here. So this is the latch. You want to make sure that it just kind of covers everything. So you want to bang it down. But right here, this latch is right here. And just so no smoke escapes. Then I want to take these apart. So right here it says it. Large one and small one. So the large one goes up here. It slides right in that cubicle. And then the smaller one slides right here on the bottom. Right here, it fits. It fits. It just goes in. You just need to make sure that it slides in pretty securely. And I'm sure when you look back there, you can see a slot that this goes into. It slides right into. And then now I go to this part. I grab that part, which I left right here, remember? That was with that piece that I put in as the little drawer before I put the door on. All these three pieces are together, even them small slits. And this, I don't know where well, it goes on right there. And then it gets screwed on right here. Just like that. You'll see the two screw holes. They look like this. And for this, what are we gonna use? It says we're gonna use a C. So I have to look at the thing. Over here, this is C. So because of how it is, how it's shaped, I put the screws in first. And then I put this in. And then it drops in there like that. So I'm gonna just let that sit, because I probably need to tighten everything up together all at once. Yeah, probably. So I gotta take this piece now. But maybe I'm just gonna tighten it up and let it sit down in that smaller cavity. That way I can put this on, these screws, and then I can pull it that way, like they want me to. Okay, so you can see it on this end. I let it drop down to the smaller, and I screwed it in. Now, it's really tight. So now, see these two screw holes here go in there. It just falls in there. And you wanna kind of put this hole into this scoop. So you wanna put this in here, this scoop in this hole first. And then the screws drop down in the hole, and you'll be able to push it over to lock it. And if you really want to, you can feel the bottom, if the screw came through the hole or not. And just push it this way and let that sit for right now. Okay, that's the smoker. It goes up in there. And it has its own fan system and everything. This is a nice one. So now that that's done, I think. It says install the antenna by screwing into the back panel, then turn on the top portion of the antenna. Alright, so I don't know where that is. It doesn't give me a very big picture. The antenna. Huh. Okay, so maybe that was on here. It's supposed to be in here. Maybe. Let's see. Okay, so I was wrong. The antenna doesn't go in here. This is another piece, which is the last piece in here. So I think, where's the antenna? I seen the antenna somewhere. I had it, but let me take this piece out, and it goes right here. There's a screw that I screw the antenna in. Okay, so I took that piece out of the box, the only box, and the antenna is sitting in this with the other wire. So I'm gonna screw in the antenna right there. Right in there. With this little screw hole. Okay, then I'm gonna flip it over like this as a table. So that's gonna be like that. And then I'm gonna do it like that. Antenna's gonna be like that. The antenna. And I'm gonna screw it into the side of the grill. To this side. To the other side of the smoker in the front. I'll show you when I'm done. And then put 4 A's. I think you can put the top ones in first and they slide down, and then you screw the bottom ones in. So you can put the top ones in to hold it. So right there, you're gonna put, there's 4 screws, so you put the 2 top ones in first and make sure the wires are out the way. That way you can lock it in and it'll hold it, and then you can make these tight, and then you make these tight. So I'll show you. Kind of like the top, but you want to make sure that, see that little dip right there? You want to make sure all the wires are nice and tucked out of the way, tucked in there. So you don't want to pinch. You don't want to pinch nothing. You don't want to pinch nothing. So make sure, see how that's up. You want to tuck that down like that. Tuck it down like that. And then you want to tighten these up first. And then you want to go back and make these tight. But make sure nothing's pinched. Make sure everything is nice and loose. Nice. And then you want to tighten these up. So I'll show you after I'm done. Because this sheet metal's never perfect, you're going to want to tighten these down first, because you might have to bend it over. And if you tighten the top, it will kind of make the bottom difficult to bend it over and screw at the same time. I know I had problems with that one. And then you tighten the top ones, and then you want to connect everything. And you can see that there's no way you can do it wrong, because this is female and that's male. and that goes into the female, and that goes into the male. And it just leaves me with that, which I'm gonna do later. And that's probably what is still in that bag. But I'm gonna plug this together and then go on to the next step. And if you're not familiar with this, you see this little tab on the top. You'll see a little piece that it's supposed to click on the opposite plug. That way you don't put them upside down, and it just clicks right in. And to take them apart, you just kind of push this, pinch that over the latch, and then pull it out. But the next step is that's done. That went back in. I put that in already. And then these want to go on the racks. So I'll get the 2 longer metal racks and put them side by side. And then I'll get the 2 thinner racks and put them on the shelves. And then this is the little can right there. That should just slide in on the bottom. Let me do this first. So here you go. You can't really get it messed up, smoke. And you want the M to be that way. And then this, I think, well, that's how you want it. Unless you, it's really up to you, unless you want to turn it around. But you just slide it right in and it goes to the second one. And then this is, I guess, the grease trap. Right here, you just slide it right in. This, and it should just catch all the grease. And that, when you keep and use this over time, it'll loosen. It'll get loose up for you. But just make sure that is where you want it. This fits right in there. And then that's pretty much done. I mean, other grills are harder. This was a little bit more simpler of a grill. So I guess this is the thermometer. So this plugs into the piece that I was telling you about. But for the other prong, the 2-prong one, I don't know where that goes. So that wants to go through there. So let me hook that up and I'll show you. So I'm gonna keep this on because I don't want all that hanging down. So I'm just gonna right here, because this is going inside the grill. I'm gonna thread that inside the grill. Actually, I think you should take this off, because I think this is the thermometer for the meat. Or at least it tells you. So I'm gonna take that off and have all the wire inside, because this is metal. It's not gonna melt. So it goes just like that. I guess that goes in there like this. Keep everything out the way. And it plugs in right to the thermometer right here. Right there is where it plugs in. Let's pop that in there like that. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is the power cord. So that's the power cord. So where this goes, I don't know. I don't think it goes in here. So, okay, so this plugs in right here. There's a plug that plugs it in right here. Either it's this way or it's the other way. Actually, make sure you get it in to the metal prongs. It'll go in snug. You'll feel it. You'll feel it when it goes in. You'll feel it. It'll feel like it. Like nice. It went in nice. Okay, so as for this, I think this plugs in the front, it says. So, see these right there? Now I need to get it back through the hole. So, just make sure you get like that to come right through. Then I guess it plugs into any one of these holes. I don't know. You have to read the directions to do it, but I guess it has something to do with all these buttons. But now, you just want to take the cord apart, and this is the one that goes into this power down here. So you just go like that, and you have slots right here so you can put it in right. And then you twist it and lock it. Or maybe it locks itself. So that's like that. And then yeah, that's that. That's the yellow piece. Thermometer goes outside right here. Through that hole. The metal part goes through the hole. And then that's it. And this goes in the front. And of course the bars go on. And I'll show you how that goes in a minute. So this part, next part is the thermometer. So there's the main hole and then there's a little hole. So if you spin this, it'll lock in the hole perfect. And on the piece itself is a wing nut and washer. So it goes through and you spin it until it locks. And then you put the washer on and then you put the wing nut on. But you have to take the thing apart first and then put it through the hole. But these little pieces came in that little baggie. So they go like this. And then the plastic piece goes on his side. And I'll show you that in a minute. Let me get all the screws together, and that's the last step. So here's the last step. So I don't know that it matters if it's up or not. You see, because you can put this on this end like that. You can have it up like this, but maybe the thermometer gauge gets hot, so they have it down like this. But you want to put one side on like so and have it down like that, I guess, so it's out of the way, because that's going to get hot. So, and then you want to put the pole in. You want to put the pole in first like that. You're going to twist it so that this part locks in. It may be on this side. Yeah, it's on this side, so that side gets this. And then after you put that on, you're gonna wanna put that on. Because if you put both these sides on, then this pole is not going in. So there you have it. You have a smoker. So I'm just gonna keep that like that because he's gonna plug it in later. And I guess that controls the fan. So he might give it a whirl. But yeah, see how this is out the way so you're not accidentally. And then, that's the smoker. That's how it's supposed to be. Just like that. And now when you do this, I think, because a lot of these pieces on here are greasy, so I think washing it down, maybe hosing it down with some Dawn dish soap or some kind of dish detergent to get all the oil and grease off before you start to burn it, because it is a smoker and you don't want your food and I guess all that oil and soot will get up in the walls, and then your food's gonna taste like oil. You're gonna have a hint of oil. So it's better just to clean it out first. I mean, if you let it dry, you always tarp it up. The rainwater is what makes it get rusty. But yeah, there's your smoker. So if you watched to the end, thank you, and get yourself one of these things. Smoked stuff is really good if you know how to use it. Learn how to use it first before you start grilling. And yeah, until next video. These are the tools that I'm going to use to put together this grill. I have this is not really necessary, but you know, I just have it out. But you have this long one, would be helpful. You have this, comes with it. And then this to cut open a box. And then you have these I used for the wheels. Nothing else really. Everything with a nut, a little nut like that. It has threads on it. So when you make it tight, it grabs the metal, and you don't really need these, but only for the big tires. And that's it. It's pretty simple. I put mine together already. So that's how it's supposed to look when all said and done. And just look at the directions as well, if you can't understand, but the directions were pretty easy as well. But I explained most of everything in this video.